saw a sea turtle the other day, swimming around gracefully, you know. What I love is that whatever beach they hatch on, they always go back to that same beach. And they go for miles and miles and miles, but then they always come back.
There's no future for you here. Even if I could get a visa to the States.
You can't leave your family.
ما نفس الرجال اللي توقعته يعاملني كأني خدامة معه.
Kai has been making friends with one of the Falcons. He wants to steal it so he can train it and then set it free.
Don't sell it free. You should sell it.
أحمد بيجي عشان ياخذها. إذا ما دفعنا الفلوس مجبورة ترجع معاه. أنا ما أعرف إيش أسوي.
أنا عارف.
اشتغل على حسابه. يتاجر في الحيوانات.
I am done selling animals to God knows who.
You don't understand anything about me or my family.
When you set her free, can I be there?
وهذا الصقر اللي خبرتنا عنه.
هذا الصقر.
ولد come back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze, Breezeway Productions' The Breeze, where we bring you the latest in independent films and film festival screenings that are going to be happening. And we are excited to kick off our coverage of this year's Austin Film Festival with the film The Falconer. And we have filmmakers Shauna Winslow and Adam Schoberg with us. How are you?
Alex, thanks for
doing
having
really
us.
well. So
We're
glad
doing
to
great.
to be here.
Right on. Thanks for coming on the show. So tell us a little bit about The Falconer and what audiences can expect this year at the Austin Film Festival.
Shauna, why don't you take that one?
I would love to take that one. So The Falconer is this kind of larger than life, based on a true story fairy tale about these two boys that are best friends that live in Oman and work together at the zoo. One of them, Kai, is this privileged Westerner who is obsessed with animals, wants to study animal conservation, has this cockamamie plan to steal a falcon from the zoo, train it, and then set it free. And his best friend, Tariq, is the oldest of an incredibly poor Yemeni family. He's the son of a beekeeper, and he's kind of working there to make ends meet. And kind of along the journey, Tariq's sister is married off into an abusive marriage, and the two of them have to come up with a plan to get money to buy her a divorce. So it is this travel log and our love letter to the region where we've both spent a lot of time. We're really excited to share it with all of you.
Yeah, I was able to check out the film. I very much enjoyed it. There was some interesting content that I was curious to see where you came up with that together, since you wrote and directed it together. So this was entirely shot in Oman, the first film that was completely shot in Oman. And then you worked with a lot of actors that spoke in Arabic, and that there was English as well included in the film. So where did this subject matter come to you? Did either of you live in that country? Do you know of anyone that wanted to do this with Falcons? How did that come together?
So the true story actually came to me about a little over 10 years ago. I was traveling in Yemen, working on another documentary about breakdancing, and I met this 14-year-old blonde skateboarding Western kid that was living in at the time it was Yemen. The original story took place in Yemen, and he told me what was ongoing at the time, which was stealing animals from the zoo to help his friend's sister get out of this abusive marriage. And I held on to that story and stayed in contact with the kid, who's now a grown man and a good friend of ours, and helped us make this movie. Shortly thereafter, Shauna and I started working together. She was leaving the studio system to go write and direct. And she was like, I'm done making big movies. I want to just go write. And I was like, well, come make this movie with me. And it took us about 8 years to finally get on an airplane to Oman. But once we finally did, it was such a fun adventure to make this movie.
So when you were working with the actors that spoke in Arabic, were they fluent in English as well? And were you familiar with the culture and the dialect since you were traveling there? Did you spend time there, do some research? Like, how did you do your pre-production for it?
Yeah, we were really fortunate. Dana Ballou is our co-producer, and she's from Lebanon. She's the first person that brought us to Oman. We actually scouted a lot of different places and a lot of different countries once we realized that we couldn't shoot in Yemen because there's an ongoing war there. And we were really committed to telling a story that was really rooted in a place and not just like an outsider looking in at a place. And the way that we did that is that we surrounded ourselves. Once we picked Oman, there we go. Couldn't pick Yemen. Once we picked Oman, we really surrounded ourselves with the team there of Musna, who's an incredible filmmaker in her own right, who's Omani, and then a team of local people. And we really picked this one village and worked with people from that village to make it authentically from that place. Oman is incredibly highly educated. Almost everyone speaks some English. Okay. Most people speak excellent English. So a lot of our cast, like Alia obviously speaks like perfect English. Tariq, who's actually from Lebanon, also speaks perfect English. And then with the people that we that didn't speak a lot of English, like the one-armed fisherman, Abu Jana, we had an incredible translation team that were there around us every single step of the way, and really, really facilitating those conversations. Because it was more than just, directing, it was also being in conversation and really working to make sure that every line of the movie and every moment is truly authentic to that place.
Sure. And that brings me to my next question. When I was in film school, one of my film teachers said that when you're shooting films and you're looking to get them off the ground, you should be wary of kids, large crowd scenes, and animals. So we have a film that is centered around an animal, the falcon. And how did you have good at wranglers? Like, how do you direct the falcon to do what you needed to do in the scenes that you constructed?
Can I add a few warnings to your professor's warnings on water?
Yeah, too.
In a country that doesn't have a film production infrastructure in place, and in another language that is not our native tongue.
Right.
We just love challenges. We had an excellent animal wrangler, and we had more than just a falcon on set. We had a bunch. I can't remember how many species of animals, but many birds. A whole zoo worth of animals, a giant snake, as well as a falcon, which we trained while we were filming. And we had an amazing animal wrangler who is the real life Kai, who has gone on to train, I think 86.
Well, I don't know if Amira is like one of those. 86.
And currently works in, he went on to go to school, to university, and studied animal conservation. And currently that's what he's pursuing as a career, is animal conservation. So he was also lovingly caring for our animals on set and making sure that they were all safe and loved and cared for. So,
which is good, that nobody was pecked to death and the giant snake didn't eat anybody. The animals did what they needed to do. I mean,
and we really wanted to be able to say that no animals were harmed in the making of our movie. But we did, falcons eat other birds. And so our falcon, did feed on pigeons, but pigeons are also a character in our movie at one point. And so there was this meticulous thing that we had to do to
none of the pigeons that are in our movie were ever fed. We're fed to our falcon. I can't believe we're going into this right now. This is very in-depth.
I just wanted to know how it was working with the animals.
The animals ate, but they never ate any other animals from our movie.
Which is good. And outside of the film, nature gonna nature. So it's just kind of the way that, things work in the circle of life. But in conclusion, The Falconer, I very much enjoyed the film. I thought that it was a wonderful project I was able to experience. And I want to congratulate both of you on your acceptance to the Austin Film Festival this year. And in closing, is there anything you'd like to say to the Austin Film Festival organization for your acceptance into the festival this year?
Okay, can I say that this is our favorite film I don't know
Oh.
that that's even fair to say. We love the Austin Film Festival so much. We actually, Adam and I attended, I think back in 2017, and it's where we decided to make this movie together. Adam and I had been talking about this movie, talking about the story. We'd been doing calls with the real life Kai and with the real life Tariq, but kind of hadn't been like, we're doing this, we're all in, until we went to the Austin Film Festival. And Adam designed the first mock-up poster that the movie ever had in the backyard of our Airbnb. So the Austin Film Festival has this incredibly like important place in our story. And it's just, in some ways, it's like bringing the movie home. So we're so excited to be a part of this festival.
Right on. Well, the film's coming home to Austin, so I hope that audiences are able to check it out. We'll showcase all of the materials that are provided to us, including the poster, maybe some stills, seeing what's available, and that we hope that people will be able to check out The Falconer. And I wanted to thank you, Shauna and Adam, for coming to speak with me today, and we hope that people can check out The Falconer.
6:45
Thanks so much for having
on the
us.
23rd. I will be there doing Q&A. So if you have more questions about animals or whatnot, come.
There you go. Check it out, people. Again, Breezeway Productions, thanks for coming.